Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth segment of the episode 1 of Womyn at Work. Womyn at Work is a project that was conceptually developed by Tracing SCT, Art Initiative Bangladesh, Live Hive, and Photopeer. In Womyn at Work, what we wanted to do is to experiment with ways of seeing, of creative thought process. That's why you could see different segments in this project, where in the beginning we experimented with textual view and then visuals only, and then they were live, and today in conversation. So these 4 segments we are experimenting in Womyn at Work. Today is the 4th segment, and I'm the moderator here, Sadya Mizan. This is the last segment of episode 1, but there will be more episodes coming in with new 3 participants, all creative practitioners from different sector and different locations. Today, we have 3 practitioners of episode 1 with us. So with any further delay, I would welcome them on screen to start the conversation with them. So I welcome Sumana Akhtar,
Hello.
Kipa Maski, and Preeti Singh with us. How are you all doing?
Yeah, right.
So we have Preeti Singh from India, Kipa Maski from Nepal, and Sumana Akhtar from Bangladesh.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us since 11 August till now. And I'm sure it was an amazing journey for you guys. And if it was not, you can talk about this today. It's free and open to talk about this. We can talk about good and bad both. So I'm sure a lot of people are watching us. So we can say hi to them and start it.
Hello to everyone. Yes. Hi.
So I'll start with Kipa. Kipa, and the same goes to Sumana and Preeti. Serially, Kipa, where are you staying now, and how long have you been there?
Where am I staying? I think it's a space that ideally maybe not the best for me at the moment, but it's a safe space where I'm able to practice my beliefs and care for whoever I want to, and dream and work simultaneously. Yeah.
Do you call this place home?
Since I think since 2012.
And this is in Nepal?
Yes. Kathmandu,
and before 2012, what was happening? Where were you?
I was off and on between India and Nepal. I was married then, so I was in India living, but then I was back and forth from 2007 till 2012. Yeah.
Okay. And I go to Sumana now. Sumana, where are you staying now, and how long here?
I'm staying now in state home, my mother home, mother house, and I'm just living here 36 years. But in this time, I'm just living in maybe 6 hours.
Okay.
6 hours.
And where is this place?
This place is, in Bangladesh, is near Dhaka or another district in the Narayanganj. And my mother's home area name is Khanpur.
Okay, we almost can reach there. Very detailed. So you were born in Narayanganj or in Dhaka? Like you were born in Bangladesh?
I am born in Bangladesh.
But in Narayanganj or somewhere else?
Narayanganj.
All right, good.
Narmad,
Okay.
Narmad is my mother's house, and
Yeah.
my father's house is Borishal, and in this
Uh-huh.
time my husband's house is Kumilla. So
Okay. You have
sometimes
quite a
I'm just
triangle there.
yeah, triangle, yeah. So this is so typical where I'm staying. Sometimes in Nandgaon, Borishal, or Kumilla mix up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go to Preeti.
I have, and I have
Oh,
no house. I have no house, no home.
I guess that's the story of
Because
many of
yeah,
us, isn't it? Either you're in your
yeah, yeah,
parents' house or your husband's house or in-laws' house, right?
yeah,
We will come back to that. We can talk more about on
yeah,
that. Let's ask Preeti.
yeah.
Preeti, where are you?
Yeah, actually, that's a. I think it's a very. I mean, and in a way, very easy question to respond to, and also very difficult because.
Can you put your
But I have
mic a
been
bit
in.
close to you?
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah,
So
put the head. Yeah,
audible.
thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So I'm saying that it's easy, very easy to also answer that question. But at times, I mean, when you start thinking about it, being in a city for almost now 17 years, I've been in Delhi. And it's just started. I mean, when you begin your life, you dream, you want to do big things, and you want to pursue your job and career and everything. So that's when you head towards such, large metropolitan cities from small towns. And so that's where I came. I was quite young then, and in that way, it's been quite a journey because the city has given different kinds of experiences, and it also led me to take decisions, very actually important decisions, which led me to be here, to be an artist, because I was completely in a different career. I was into management, I was into a corporate job, and it was all going in a very different direction, but I
Mm-hmm.
was not able, I mean, not able to really like that space so
Mm-hmm.
much. So but yeah, I've been in Delhi. I stay in apartment, a small apartment, and I mean this is how Delhi's spaces are, how Delhi houses are. It's so yeah. I mean it's I don't know about the home thing because home thing is quite far from how you want to
Right.
describe it because you want to reach it, but it's just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the I think it's you are in the journey all the time. So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we will come back to that, combining Shumona's point also, that how we
sure,
are not permanent anyway.
yeah, yeah.
But again, I'll start with you. Um, we know you as Preeti Singh. You got this name,
Mm,
when you were
mm,
born.
mm,
Your parents or
mm.
someone gave it to you. But what would you call yourself? Like, if you don't have the name Preeti Singh, who is Preeti Singh? What would you call?
I think I mean, there is an inquisitiveness in me, there's innate curiosity. And, there's this, I think, and also an urgency to sort of learn and unlearn, so I think these are few words with which I really feel connected. And, so I'm instantly, when you ask me that question, this curiosity and the idea of how I'm all the time like thinking, and it's just like unending, it's all the time going on. So those are a few words I would maybe like to say about myself. And yeah, yeah,
So, okay, let's summarize the words again. Thinker for sure, and then
yeah. So in that way, I mean, I like to experience, like so I go for like I try to experiment in my work. I go for different kinds of mediums and work with other, a lot of different materials to just go through the process of it, to like to find a way in like negotiate and find and understand what it is to work with paper, what it is to work with technology. I mean, the kind of now how it is also changing. What it is to work with performance, as a form, and what are the potentials? I mean, how do you negotiate, and how do you also make connections between what you are doing? So I think so it's a continuous thinking process, and I find myself within these terms placed very well. So I feel that I belong to this kind of also, and it's very unsettling because I almost feel like there's this groundless fall. So
All
it's
right.
also very anxiety driven, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy that. So
I just made a weird line out of it. Anxious, unsettling, explorer, and thinker. Okay. How do you like that, Keepa? How do you like that line for Preeti?
Um, as far as I know, I think she's. I feel like she's more disciplined, more aligned. That's what I get from her energy.
Okay, let's hear
it's
about you. Yeah,
Me,
Preeti, continue if you want to. Yeah.
yeah.
I just wanted to say that this is what the whole experience of interacting with each other. Like Keepa, I have not met. Sumana, I have met, but then still there is this, the when we were interacting on a blog, how one perceives the other, how
Sure.
one perceives through the screen. So it was
Yeah.
something completely. It's an interesting. It has been an interesting process, and there was so much of sharing, but also there was this idea which we may not agree. Also, like I might how I see Keepa, or how I see someone can be very different when we meet and actually talk in person. So it was very nice and different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same. And
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
Keepa,
Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
please.
No,
No.
uh, not particularly name, but maybe I resonate with the dragonfly a lot since I was child. So I would definitely say dragonfly has a space in my defining me in some way. I don't know yet how and what, but that's always been there. Um, I see myself as a learner at the moment. Um, Somebody who has mm, been through ups and downs, and now I'm trying to get them together and trying to manifest it in my own ways. That's what I feel I am at the moment. So besides that, I really really think I am a dancer.
Oh
Yeah.
Perfect.
wow.
Lovely.
So yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Lovely. Okay, let's go to Shumana. Shumana, who is Shumana inside, outside, without the name Shumana?
Um, yeah. In I feel in this time I'm just mother because in
Mhm.
a 10 days this decision. So in 10 days I feel that I'm not an artist, but I'm also another identity. This
Sure.
identity is mother identity because many other problem. 10 days I feel that, but I am not feel this is the problem because she's my child. So I'm just busy her. Sometimes I call and I'm eating many other things. So I enjoy it. So this time I'm mother. This is my
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
Great. That's amazing identity. I'm sure you're enjoying this.
yeah.
So, as you can see, my intention is not to jump to what was happening in Women at Work and how was it happening. My intention is to look into everything before that, where you guys started, where you guys came from. So I just want to keep the audience waiting and waiting and waiting to know what actually happened in Women at Work. So let's again start with Shumana. Shumana, how did you start it as a artist? If you call yourself artist, I mean, I'm sure before being a mother, you call
Yeah.
yourself artist or a practitioner or a thinker.
Yeah.
Um, and how did that journey started? Let's flash back your life. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Flashback. I'm is a big story. So I think I just talk to Bangla. It's for easy for me.
Okay, I
Is
can
it
help
okay?
in some translation if you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you have 10 minutes, okay? No matter how big the story is. Yeah.
okay, okay. আমি আমি যখন ছোট ছিলাম আর কি সেই সময় থেকে আমার খুব মানে হাতের কাজের একটা খুব ইচ্ছা ছিল যে আমি হ্যান্ডিক্রাফট নিয়ে খুব সেলাই করতে পছন্দ করতাম। তো তারপরে ওখান থেকে আমার খুব ইচ্ছে হয় যে আমি ফ্যাশন ডিজাইনার নিয়ে পড়বো আর কি। ফ্যাশন ডিজাইনার পড়ার
Okay, I'll
জন্য
try
আমি
to
বেসিক্যালি
translate a bits and bits of it
yeah,
for you guys and others.
yeah,
So Shumona
okay.
had this interest in craft from her childhood, like from very early age, and also in fashion designing. And she wanted to study in fashion design. Yeah. Then Shumona.
চারুকলায় ভর্তি হওয়ার পরে দেখলাম যে আসলে পেইন্টিং নিয়ে পড়লেই সব মিডিয়াতে কাজ করা যায়। তখন থেকে পেইন্টিং এর প্রতি আমার খুব আগ্রহ তৈরি হয়। আমি তখন পেইন্টিং নিয়ে পড়া শুরু করি আর কি।
Mm-hmm.
এবং
So
তারপরে
you joined the which institute? Charukala in Yuda.
নারায়ণগঞ্জ চারুকলা ইনস্টিটিউট, নারায়ণগঞ্জ চারুকলা ইনস্টিটিউট
Narayanganj. Okay, Narayanganj Institute,
yeah,
Fine Art Institute. You joined there, and in painting, you realize that if you study in painting, you can work with other mediums as well, right, Shumana? If I'm not wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
তার পরবর্তীতে আমার যখন প্রাইভ স্টাডি শেষ হয় আমি মাস্টার্সে যখন পড়ি সেটা একটা প্রাইভেট ইউনিভার্সিটি ছিল, ইউনিভার্সিটি ইউরোতে। সেখান থেকেই নানান মিডিয়ায় কাজ শুরু হয়ে যায়, পারফরমেন্স করি, তারপরে ভিডিও আর্ট নিয়ে কাজ করি। পারফরমেন্স ছিল আমার পড়াপড় একটা ওয়ার্কশপ, স্টেজি ওয়ার্কশপ থেকে। আর ভিডিও আর্টটা ছিল হচ্ছে বৃত্তর সাথে কাজ করে এভাবে আস্তে আস্তে মিডিয়া নিয়ে এবং বিভিন্ন মিডিয়ায় কাজ করা শুরু হয়।
So you started getting like participating in different workshops, and from
Yeah.
different workshops of video art and performance art, you started exploring different disciplines like performance and video art. So and then there the dimension comes in your practice. I'm just skipping out all the names of the organization. Just
Yeah.
Then
Then
তারপরে কি হলো সুমনা? এত ডাইমেনশন
তারপরে
দেখার পরে কি মনে হইলো? কি করতে চাও জীবনে?
কি করতে চাই? যা করছি তাই করতে চাই। আর জীবনে আরেকটা কিছু করতে চাই। এটা হচ্ছে আমি একজন সাইকেলিস্ট, তো আমি চাই যে আমার ছেলে যখন বড় হবে আমি এবং আমার ছেলে একসাথে সাইকেল চালাবো। এটা আমার আরেকটা।
Say this in English. Say this in English. Everybody needs to know this in English. Say it.
Okay. This is my last hobby when my child is younger. So me and my child is together in cycling.
They want to be cyclists together. That's how it's happened now. Ooh. Okay, I wish I could show the image that Shumona had with her cycle. We don't have it here, but yeah, I'm sure we can share that on Facebook. So, Shumona, you explore different dimensions. You always were searching for new learning process, I guess. You have been through video art workshops, performance art. Which discipline did you I mean, not which, but did you ever felt that this discipline is something that is very comfortable with me than other discipline? Did you felt something like that ever? কোনো একটা ডিসিপ্লিন তোমার কাছে বিশেষ মনে হয়েছে যে এটা আমার সঙ্গে সবচেয়ে বেশি স্যুট করে দেন আদার্স? আই এম কমফোর্টেবল উইথ দিস ডিসিপ্লিন দেন any other discipline?
In art media?
In any creative practice, performance, video art, painting, and other things that you do.
Okay, not individually one thing. I'm just my thinking process. Sometimes I'm doing performance and then feel it. Okay, this is not good. I feel many things, so I'm just video and sometimes painting. So 3 or 4 media is parallelly I'm just working. So I'm just still every
all the disciplines are still under exploration.
Still, yeah. And
okay. Okay, Shumana is very open to everything. Okay, how about you, Preeti? Where did it all started? Being the explorer, unsettler.
I think this started, with me feeling this unease within the kind of structure I was working at that point. But then it actually began quite long back when I was a child. I had really huge interest in painting, and I was painting all the time, almost like. So, so that was already
Question.
like,
I have a
sorry.
question. Where
Yeah.
were you painting? On the walls or on the sofa or on the bed sheet?
So you know how it is. So it's definitely on the walls, definitely on the walls. And I don't remember if I painted on sofas or not. I mean, just for the walls, we used to like I used to get a lot of scolding. But then that slowly and gradually, painting is never taken, or any art practice in that way is not taken so seriously as a profession. And so you hardly find people around you. So like
Yeah.
the kind of environment I was in, I never met an artist, like even by mistake, like you meet somebody and get inspired, or you see somebody working. So so this was some kind of you know a hidden, there's just some kind of a hidden space of wonder for me. So this was growing and growing in me, but then I didn't realize it till the point so this time when I left the job for a while, and while I was looking for a job in 2009, when it was also the time of this market had completely broken down, and there was this whole
Mm-hmm.
economy crash. So at
Mm-hmm.
that point, there was a lot of layoffs. A lot of organizations were like, throwing their employees out. And at that point, there was this whole chaos, and I was not sure if I want to start like. But then I was also continuously searching for if I want to dance, or if I want to paint, or if I want to do what, because there was this thing going on, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
but then I got to know about College of Art, and I was preparing, and like I was drawing anyway. I was continuously like working at home, and this didn't got through it, in my second attempt. And I mean, I really thought that this is something that is happening to me, like life is doing to me. I am not doing to life. I mean, it's something that I thought that this is coming to me now. I should, whether because it was a huge turn. If I was quitting the job completely, which was not obviously acceptable. I mean, the family, everybody would say that you are, or you already have a career. Did your masters and everything for it, and now you're completely abandoning it. Because art is तो मतलब weekend पे होता है, या मतलब it's a hobby, so you can do it as a hobby. So but I just joined, and I completed my painting course from College of Art, and then
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and did masters from Ambedkar in masters in visual art, which I completed in 2017. And I've been practicing from that time. Like I've been working in different, and I was so excited and so happy about it that I reached to this space, which is, I mean, it was also a very romantic idea, which got really also crashed later, because you realize that hello, life is the same, the
After
struggles
few
are the
doors, it's the
same.
same chamber.
It's the same. So you just realize it. But yeah, but then there is something different also. I feel that there is something. I mean, the whole struggle and everything is definitely. I mean, it can connect to anybody and everybody in the whole world actually. But then there is something about it that keeps you going. There's something about it, that because there is an exploration, there is a freedom from within that you want to exercise, and you want to
Exactly.
resist. You want to
Yeah, you know
resist
how I call
yourself.
it? I call
Yeah.
it it's a fever, but that's my fever. That's not someone else's fever I'm taking care of.
Okay.
So
Yeah, exactly. So you're basically resisting yourself, and I mean, anyway, you're resisting, the things that are surrounding you, and which you are, and the issues that you want to work with, and a lot of things. But then the whole struggle is with yourself, because, as I said earlier, that unlearning is a huge part of it. Like how we grow up, what we are conditioned with, and how we look at ourselves and the world around us. That needs to change. That needs to find new ways of looking, and how do we do that? How do we do that? Like we have to constantly keep reading, writing, exploring, painting, whatever visuals. Anyway, I mean, in today's time, also it is so challenging that there's so much image already. We're bombarded. You're like, so what is it that we want to work with? Like, why do I want to make an image? What is like also the purpose of making that image? What is it going to do? So I mean, so it started like that, but then it has been uh, slowly moving, but moving for sure. So I'm happy.
Okay, as long as it moves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it moves. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're not machines. We need some time.
Yeah.
Okay. Keepa, are we there in Preeti's journey, or we can go back to your journey?
Me?
Yeah.
It's up to. I think I
Let's
can.
go flashback of your journey.
Yeah.
Okay. It was quite long time back.
10 minutes, okay?
Okay. So I was studying liberal arts, but then I was struggling with my courses, like history and all, and I couldn't. Then a friend of mine told me, let's start drawing, take a course in drawing because they were offering. So that was the real beginning of understanding,
Which year was it?
Um, 92.
Oh man. Okay.
Right, right. So yeah, and then after that I started exploring, and I switched to fine art, studio art, and then I started exploring many, whatever the courses were there, and I just went along with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I after finishing this college, I did an internship, and at that time I was kind of confused, like what kind of direction I wanted to go to. Um, but at the same time, my personal life was taking a lot of toll on me. It was like I was having to deal with many things, so I kind of gave up in the middle
Mm-hmm.
about following this work. And in 2007, but I was still practicing, but I wasn't really serious about it. But
Yeah.
when 2007 happened, I came back to Nepal, and then still I wasn't really into it because of the whole everything happening around me. So it was really when 2012 happened, I moved back here for good, and then I really started my practice here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And the discipline obviously was the drawing, where it all began. But then what did you explore on this journey, and what do you feel comfortable with now? Any discipline that you feel explains your or expresses your language better?
Well, it was always the drawing, the primary, but of course I explored more figure drawing at that time. Figure drawing was the mostly, and then what I explored painting 2012 till 2000 maybe 14 or something. I really explored painting, but when I started doing textile in
Uh-huh.
2000, I think it was 2017. I took a residency at um, Lasana here in Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when I really started opening up, and that's when I found the connection between my textile and my childhood, what I used to learn from my grandmother, that kind of connected. So I started more working towards it. And then performance has always been there. It's just that sometimes I didn't know it was there, but I
There
knew
goes the
it.
dancer.
Sorry?
There
What?
goes the dancer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, these two are the ones that I really, really connect with. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I restrict to that only.
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
But um, to understand the journey, the you know, I don't know, the roads, the path you take, you walk, and then you can decide, or still deciding. Obviously,
sure.
that's the case of many.
Sure.
We're still deciding. We don't know. So yeah, let's go to Shumona, who took a small break and came back. Shumona. Okay. So I can
But
see your
electricity has
journey.
gone.
Oh, congratulations. So we could see your journey and how you keep exploring, and you're still exploring a lot. Let's hear about what was the thought process in Women at Work. Let's start that concept. I won't say concept, that thought process. What was the thought process that we divided into these 4 segments?
Okay.
You're still thinking.
And this processes I like very much because it's the first segment and the Chimuk is coordinator. So this question segment is I like very much because
No, I
in
was
the
asking Shumana. We will come back to this format. আমি জানতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে first there was a thought process. There was a thing. There was a piece of work in your mind. There was something, a thought process in your mind, with which you came into the format, right? Why you came into the format, with what? So that, let's hear that. Then we will hear how we divided it through everybody.
Okay, this work is pandemic work. I just because in 4 or 5 months
You can go
I'm
in
just
Bengali
locked
if
down.
you want. I can help you translate.
Okay. এই করোনাকালে প্রায় কতদিন হবে 5 মাস বাসায় বন্দি ছিলাম। তো আমি যখন আমার প্রায় বিবাহিত জীবনে 6 বছর যাবতই আমি কখনো ঘরে নাস্তা বানাইনি, মানে কারণ আমি রুটি বানাতে পারি না, আসলে রুটিটা আমার গোল হয় না, বা রুটি বানাতে গেলে আমার প্রবলেম হয়। তো আমি সবসময় বাইরে থেকে রুটি কিনে খাই। তো করোনার কারণে রুটি কিনতে পারছিলাম না বাইরে থেকে, তো প্রতিদিনই রুটি বানাতে পারি না, কখনো চিড়ে ভাজা খাচ্ছি,
Okay,
তারপরে
let
তোমার
me
কখনো
tell
ব্রেড
everyone
কিনে
that
খাওয়া
you're a
হচ্ছে।
lazy girl who
Yeah.
doesn't want to make the bread, the round roti ever. So in this lockdown, I mean, before the lockdown, in last 6 years of like married life and everything, she would buy the bread from outside, and in this lockdown, she had to finally make it and make it round, which
Right.
was, I think, a standard of every roti. Why this is not round? Yeah. And then what happened, Shimona?
তো
Wow.
প্রতিদিনই রুটি বানানো হতো না, আসলে নানান কিছু খাওয়া হতো, রুটিটা বানাতে পারি না ভালো করে। তো কিছুদিন মনে হলো আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, দেন রুটিটা খাওয়া যায়, কিন্তু কোনোভাবেই আসলে আমার রুটিটা গোল হয় না। তো ওই জায়গা থেকেই একটা কনসেপ্ট আসে মাথায় যে আমি রুটি নিয়ে কাজ করব। কারণ হচ্ছে যে আমার মাকে দেখি বা আমার পারিপার্শ্বিক সবাইকেই দেখি যে সবাই রুটি বানায়, রুটি গোল হয়। আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছিল যে এটা খুব সহজ কাজ, কিন্তু আমি যখন করতে গেলাম তখন দেখলাম আসলে এটা ইজ নট ফর ইজি ফর মি। আর
আরে
এটার সাথে একটা
পৃথিবীটাই তো পুরো
ছোট্টবেলার
গোল
গল্প
না,
আছে।
পৃথিবীটাই তো একটু চ্যাপ্টা, পৃথিবীটা পুরো গোল
না
না,
না
রুটি গোল হয়ে যাবে।
দাদি, এটার সাথে ছোট একটা গল্প আছে। ছোটবেলায় আমার মা বলতো আর কি, যে আমি নাকি খুব পছন্দ করতাম, যে মা রুটি বানাতো, গরম গরম রুটি খেতে খুব পছন্দ করতাম। ঘুম থেকে উঠেই চোখ কসলাতে কসলাতেই আমি মায়ের পাশে বসতাম, মা রুটি ছেঁকে দিত, আমি খেয়ে ফেলতাম। এবং আরো একটা কথা আমি বলতাম, যেটা আমি এখানে লিখতে পারি নাই, যে আমি নাকি বলতাম যে আমার যখন বিয়ে হবে, তো যখন রুটি বানানো হবে আমি খাবো ভালোটা, আর যেটা পোড়া পোড়া নষ্টটা সেটা দেবো আমার হাজবেন্ডকে। কিন্তু এটা আর এখন হয় না।
Partiality, partiality. Okay, so there was the story. She used to take all this hot, um, uh, like fresh out of the stove rotis, which are like hot rotis, straight from the stove, and she used to love it. And then she used to say, when I'll get married, all the good breads I get, all the burn one my husband gets. I'm sure that's the opposite now, Shimona. রিয়ালিটি। ওকে, তারপরে কি হলো?
ওইখান থেকে বিষয়টা মাথায় আসলো যে রুটি নিয়ে কাজ করা যায় আর কি। তো তারপরে আমি শুরু করলাম।
So the struggle and the memories and the bread not being round, which looked very easy when your mother and aunts and everybody, other female women in the house would do. It looked easy, but when you had to do it, it was never easy, and it was never usually round. And from there you started thinking about this. Yeah. Follow. You there?
আমাকে কেন আসলে ভাবতে হচ্ছে যে সকালে রুটিটা বানাতে হবে, রুটিটা গোল হতে হবে আরো আদারওয়াইজ? কেন আমার হাজবেন্ড তো কখনো ভাবে না সকালে ঘুম থেকে উঠে রুটি বানাতে হবে, যেটা ম্যাক্সিমাম ফ্যামিলিতে বিষয়টা আসলে এরকম। আমার মাকেও দেখেছি, আমার বাবা তো কখনো ভাবেনি, বা আদার ফ্যামিলিতে দেখছি যে মহিলাটাকে দেখছি তার হাজবেন্ড কখনো ভাবেনি।
Yeah,
তো এটাও
true,
একটু কাজ করেছে আসলে, যে আমাদেরই কেন ভাবতে হয় আসলে,
true.
সুমনাদেরই কেন ভাবতে হয়।
Yeah, all the Shumanas have to think about the bread in the morning, the breakfast in the morning. Why only Shumanas, or why only the woman, not the male,
Yeah.
not Shumana's husband, not Nasib Bhai. So they wake up, they never
Not
worry,
Preeti's
they
husband.
never worry about the bread, even not the breakfast, or not even who else is hungry, who will eat, right?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
something the woman, the Shumana in every house are thinking every morning. Though they can't make the round roti, they don't know how to make this perfect, but still they have to do the worry. Why not others? And from there, the work was shaping up in the pandemic, in this lockdown. Right, Shumana?
No. Shaping up হয়নি। I'm
No,
just
I'm not.
thinking, I'm just using some circle and just cut it the routine circle, but I'm not I'm just
No, I
still
just
try
said,
to
no, I said the কাজের conceptটা সেখান থেকে আসে. I said that.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In this
Whatever
lockdown
cheating you're doing
time.
with bread making, it's fine. Use whatever round thing. It's fine. I'm sure everybody does that once in a while. Okay. So Kipa is super scared. Kipa is not into bread, into round bread. So she just left. Let's hear Preeti's idea. How it? What was the primary idea or thought process that
I think
you
I
came?
should have managed too. I think with Keepa on this note.
As long as you're not making a roti now. Let's hear it.
Oh, this roti, my God. This is I think it's it's like a historical, story that every woman Keepa is back.
Yes.
So, what did you ask? Can you please ask again?
We are laughing so much that we are missing the actual point. Anyways, by the way, Preeti, your screen is a bit frozen, but it's okay.
So,
I'm sure you're scared of the roti, so it's frozen. I was asking. I was asking about the basic thought process that you came and started the work in Womyn at Work. What was the realization and the idea, if you have any?
You're asking me or
yes, Preeti.
Preeti, okay. So for me, I think it was already going on with the last work that I did last year in Max Muller as a part of 5 million incidents. That was a research project which was, situated in the kitchen space, but looking at something more like, so taking the kitchen from the private home, that patriarchal structure, the private patriarchy, to a public patriarchal space, which is to do with the institutional space. And I was at that point bombarded by the news of India-Pakistan war, because it was elections were coming up, and so there was this whole channel screaming about, the Balakot happened, and the news was filled with the news, this ranting about war, and I was actually, my kitchen and my TV room is like, the same hall and in the opposite direction, like, so while I'm cooking, I'm listening to all this going on, and I was at that point imagining that what is it to like think of a war space from kitchen, like my kitchen, right now I am in the kitchen, like how am I, or how is this space even relevant to that kind of space, which is so out of our imagination, like it's so far away. who is doing the war, who is fighting the war, who is creating the situation for war. Everything is so inaccessible for people like us. Like, we don't know. We just hear the news, and this is what the medium that we have to know about the world as what it is. So how do we as common people, like how a woman, you know uh, we in a space like kitchen, which is anyway it's such an unacknowledged and such an erased space within the household. I mean, even if it is so central and at the heart of it, but still, so it is so looking at the wall space and then looking at the kitchen space in the war itself, like, so not going to the battlefield, not going to the where people are fighting the war, but then going into the kitchens of it, because it's actually keeping these people alive, like feeding
Exactly.
them, so then so I just and it was a very constant thought that started to um, come to me. I started to write about it, and like just started to research, and then it so the project shaped up with a with few other collaborators. So I invited few friends to like be part of it, and so so one of them is Vidur Sethi. He comes from a literature background, and and the other person was Harshit Vishwakarma. He's also an artist, and he works with media, and and he makes drawings and like does lovely things. And uh, Nitish Arora was also, he's also a friend and artist. And so I just started to think together. I wanted different people like coming from different disciplines and also like connecting and then thinking about this space. So, so with Dur, I started to explore literature and the stories of kitchen and women, and how we talk about the war itself, and how to talk about the kitchen in the war. And there was very less. I mean, I could not really find any literature exactly in the war space. Which so it just started from a, I mean, I would not say void, but there are things which are related to it, like, but then you have to actually. So I try to also talk to, um, you know, people, friends in army, or just want to like understand people and women in general, to know what even what I am looking for in this whole project, because it was such a difficult space to go to, because I can't go to the war space anyway. I can't go to and like really find out things right away. So I have to find other ways of. So, but literature helped a lot, because then we started to like find stories of women going to war spaces. Also, I found a very interesting paper which was by Radhika Singha. She's a historian from JNU, and she had written a paper on the servants which were taken by British Army in World War One from India, and and how these, they were called labor corps, and these people were used for doing all the all kind of cleaning, cooking, washing, all kind of the the so-called menial jobs. Uh, so so also then you see that wherever you go, this space and the kind of functions and roles this space contains, it has a similar kind of similar kind of
Ignorance.
ignorance. Yeah, I mean, people don't actually acknowledge those people's contribution to the war at all. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like a very interesting that Singha wrote on this, and her work is really commendable, because very less mention of names of people, and like who were these people, like and they all came from. So they were all, most of them were prisoners at that point, who maybe somebody would just like think that they are not important enough for the country, so maybe they can just be sent away. And
Yeah.
so they were sent, and a lot of tribal people coming from uh, you know and different people who did not have actually any like any power in as such.
Helpless
Like these
people.
were. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are, but the screen is a bit froze and you're not there. Okay. Let's wait for them, Keepa. What do you say?
Sure.
Okay. Life in digital era. Hello, mother. We can hear the sound.
Hello.
We can hear your audio of the real character. Okay.
Oops.
Okay. She doesn't want us to hear it. No problem. We can get back to Preeti. Let's start with you, Keepa, maybe. What you came in with in Women at Work? What did you came in with? Let's hear that.
I know, right? um, it's like I have been working on the issue of body for 2 years now, I think, and then I always had in my mind, I knew that I would have to be truthful about my whatever I'm dealing with, and that it's just a matter of time that I will be working on it. And when this pandemic happened, I realized that I was consuming more than I needed to. I found that excuse because they were like all saying, "Oh, you have to be very healthy, this, that." So I found it as an excuse, to let go of myself. And after a while, I was like not happy, not only happy, of course I wasn't healthy. And then one morning I remember I was like, I woke up not being able to really breathe, and then I was like really freaking out, right? So and then that time then I started, okay, now I need to do something about it. But that it wasn't something that I was planning and anything. It was just my experience. But then Kaur spoke about doing this work with us and asked what my exploration would be. And it was very obvious for me that I was going to talk about my eating disorder, on this Women at Work. And how it is related to the kitchen. Kitchen is like a zone of comfort, but at the same time, it's a battleground for me personally,
So, all right. So I see a common string actually, the battleground and ignorance of different issues. I think.
Sure.
Welcome, Preeti. Yeah. So I shifted to Keepa and was hearing from her, and we could find a common string like the war zone, the battleground, and how still few things were ignorant or we ignore as subjective or objective, whatever it is. And also in Shumona's case, how the function is not consciously address, like whose function is this that is ignored. So I mean, it's amazing how you come from three different part of the world, and without, I mean, it was not planned, right? You didn't knew about each other's work, and now finally in this last segment when we talk about it, you find a common string. I think that was something explored by the curator of this episode. We will be having different curators in different episodes, of course. I think that was an amazing string that was explored. So Keepa, do you want to extend anything with this?
No, that is about it. But I feel like on this work, what we just did, I feel like I'm just on the surface. Like I'm just hitting that, the tip of that thing. So I need to do more exploration. I need to answer a lot of questions within myself. So it's just a beginning for me,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I'm sure the beginning we would explore more in the segments that
Yes.
when we discuss more in the segments. Let's hear to Preeti again, where you left.
Yeah, so uh, uh, I think the project led me into
Yeah,
many different stories.
you were saying about those
Yeah,
people, who
yeah,
were helpless and they were used for
yeah,
different
yeah,
chores,
exactly.
and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a specific like paper which helped me to understand that how these the so anywhere if you start researching about it and if we go into its details, anywhere the kitchen as a space when you locate it anywhere, and it can also be in within our. I mean, we are saying about home like home kitchen, but if you go into spaces where kitchen is not basically just the kitchen. It is something that any work, any labor that actually doesn't get, it's not recognized. It's something that is like it's every day. Every day is so, it's so filled with and over, like layered with, many different aspects. We are not able to pinpoint that this is where the problem lies. As what Sumona is saying right now is such a peculiar example, and there are like thousands and thousands of such things happening every day. So
Exactly.
look right from this small thing about this whole roti. This it's a huge. I mean, there are fights on this. Like
Exactly.
you have
Exactly.
like huge fights on this.
All your
From
reputation
there,
depends on the roti.
all I mean, my
Right.
mother, she tells me this story that how her, her other women, like surrounding her,
Female around her,
they
yeah.
they female they like say, oh, the rotis are thick, and you don't make round rotis, and like so
Yeah.
so you're suddenly your status in the family, like it sort of drops, that you don't make good
Yeah.
food, you don't make good roti. So
Yeah.
it's I mean, I don't know how this idea of the roti and women respect is like has been completely linked so directly. I mean, इतनी छोटी सी चीज से आप किसी को मतलब you're measuring somebody's
Of course.
complete personality, identity, everything. Right from there, then if you go into the institutional setting of this space, it just seems to be similar. It's similar. If you actually look at the history of these people who are working in that space, you will find hardly anything to know and hardly anything who these people were. So it's something that I think this space needs a lot of discourse, and in Indian
Thank you.
context, yeah, in Indian context, we are actually like we need to discuss it, even like in terms of the identities, as as um, how the kitchen space is considered sacred, and how
I don't think it's
you
only Indian context.
yeah,
It's South Asian. You can say beyond South
South
Asia,
Asian, yeah, sure,
everywhere,
sure, sure,
everywhere,
yeah. So kitchen
everywhere
has
where
become
gender is
yeah,
existing, gender issues
huh,
are there everywhere. So it's all, and it's not one element. It's there are several
hmm,
elements with which you are
yeah,
judged as a
yeah,
woman. And
of course,
so that you
yeah.
know, Preeti, you are frozen again, but in a perfect mode of frustration with the kitchen. So don't worry, keep going on.
I can see that. So
Yeah, it's
funny.
perfect. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay. So, all right.
I'm
So
sorry. Yeah.
let's connect Shumona again. We get the idea how
Yeah.
it all was shaping up and got divided into
Yeah.
different segments in Women at Work.
Correct.
There are some messages for Shumona, especially when Shumona
Uh-huh.
was talking about the roti and the round, and I was
Uh,
telling
uh,
even the world is not completely round. So how come the roti
Yeah.
has
yeah.
to be round anyway? So Shumona,
Mhm.
Afsana Sharmin Jhumpa says, I also got the same experience of making roti in this very lockdown time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she also says, but finally, I happily found myself making the perfect roti and other baking stuff. Got a lot of courage for this work, so I can feel you. Loved your work, Shumana.
Thank
We also
you,
love your
Shuma.
work, Juma.
Yeah,
Lovely.
lovely. Yeah.
And let's look at some more comments. Ashwarya says following. Thank you, Ashwarya. Um, Juma says hi to Ashwarya. Okay.
Mhm.
And Ashwarya answers to Juma again. All right.
Yeah.
Finally, Ashwarya speaks to us. Good to
Okay.
see Women at Work and also other around Women at Work. Thank you, Ashwarya. And then Juma again says, kitchen is a place of battleground, killer time, proving thyself as well as creativity. Eating is experiencing all this and loving oneself. Love your work, Keepa. And it is nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Same here. Nice meeting.
Kekesha Saba says, lovely talk going on, but have to leave. All the best to you, whole team. Okay. See you in the next
Okay.
episode.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Yeah.
Ruby Kamakar Ganguly from Calcutta. She's also an artist. Okay, there's a reply. Yes, Preeti Singh. And all around the work, just the matter of cultural differences. We can't feel others the way we feel it. Anyway, it was nice meeting you. Where are you going, Juma?
Yeah.
Stay back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool. Nice meeting. Yeah.
exactly. So finally, let's break the mystery of this fourth segment of Woman at Work. So let me start with a brief to confuse everybody a bit more. So we basically came up with this idea from nowhere, from stories from friend, through the curator, through Cord Chimuk who was curating. They didn't curated this because it was needed to curate it. It was because the friends were going through some thought process and it was beautiful. And it could have been in experiment, it could have been in different segments so that we can focus on the beauty more, more, I don't know, largely, or we can understand the little beauty in this. And there it began, and we decided to carry it on because we're sure we four of us, Tracing a City, AIB, Live Hive, and Photopeer, we are sure that there are many more practitioners like you who have different war zone, different ignorant, different realization in the pandemic or out of the pandemic. It's not the Woman at Work was not thought or planned because of the pandemic. This kind of war zone is happening before and after the kitchen. The performance of the kitchen, the activity of the kitchen is happening in everyone's house who are watching us now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are not watching us will be watching us later. So
Yeah.
this is the ongoing process. We just captured a small portion of it and divided into different experiences. And we started with text, which you can experience in the blog that three of you interacted. We will hear about that. And then we went to visual only, where we were not talking, we were not writing, only the visual. But again, in the visual, we experimented with the virtual space and its accessibility and visibility as a library format, what we call, not as single image, in a macro approach, not micro. We exist in a macro, not as micro. So which you can experience in Photopeer in Instagram. And then we were live yesterday where we could see what was happening in that war zone. And today we are in conversation. So let's start with Keepa. Let's talk about your experience all through it. And we will then continue with Shumana and Preeti also.
to say it. Sometimes, some things, because it's like out of words sometimes, especially the 5 days, the initial 5 days of text. Um,
The first segment.
Yeah.
yeah, it takes you to certain space that I cannot even express, but it's like with so much intensity, but at the same time it's so beautiful and surreal and slow, because we got to have time to think the whole day about the same few questions and understand it from our own view and the work we are trying to do, and how gently this curator core was like moderating it. And I after the 5 days, it was like I think we all went into a certain kind of like some kind of withdrawal symptom, maybe, like we were like wanting that more of it. And then then the visual happened, and really Imran from Photopeer, the way I really appreciate how he had thought so much about how it's gonna be displayed, and not just have it randomly, but uh it was more I think it was more of a collective I don't know how to say this, but it felt like we belonged somewhere, we were working towards it together. And especially the live yesterday, uh, some things I'm not able to explain, because it's just like the experience, like after the performance actually yesterday, I got like so and so much energy, like high, because sometimes when you don't even understand what you're going through. So that was the experience for me at the same time. But like I said before, all this experience, having been there, is just like a give me a path, like it's like it's like a sketchbook, like, let's say, for me, so I can explore more, go beyond this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you really want to write more?
Write
Now
more,
would you
of
like?
course. Yes, definitely. Definitely. I don't know, it was
And
something I just don't know how to explain.
all right, I have a very fun question, but before that, I missed a comment, which was to Shumona. Let's bring that in, Shumona. How did you experience sweet at this change, like in the pandemic? I'm sure Milton is asking. Shumona, would you like to answer that? Oh, sorry, sweat. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We're talking so much about
Sweat.
food that I right. It was surely hot, right, Shimona?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I will have an interesting question. Let's hear from Shimona, your experience through these different segments from 11 August till now.
In this exhibition or whole
The
process?
the whole process. There's no
Yeah,
exhibition. The whole process is a process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm just going to this type of process, because in the first segment is Chimuk, curator Chimuk, and the question and to answer. So first I saw the question, so I'm thinking it was so much difficult how I can answer. So when I just day, whole day, got and I'm just answering, so I feel okay. This is a nice game. I think it's a game. So I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just finish the 5 day. I'm just miss every day. Okay, today's no game. Today's no game. Every day I feel that okay, I missing this first segment. And the second segment is also awesome because it's the first time in the Instagram exhibition. So when the first Imran is upload the blank space, so I saw, oh my god, it's no image. So I think okay, maybe I'm just waiting, some image is coming. Oh, that's not blank space. But in this time is my one friend Facebook message, where is your exhibition? This is the blank space.
Mhm.
So I'm just starting in some time, and then I'm going to answer him. Okay, this is the maybe exhibition process. You saw this and then you got it. Okay, and then that time I'm talking Sadya or Chimuk. They also told me, and I whole day finished. Then I saw in the processes that photo pair exhibition Instagram. I like it very much because the last time I saw in the page the different exhibition. Yeah,
actually play around with the excess. I think the learning process actually starts with the name of the project, where we spell the woman with the Y. There starts the learning, and then it divides into segments, I guess. Yeah, please continue, Sumana.
Yeah. Also the performance. This is my first performance, online performance. So it's a big challenge for me because because my phone is some problem and another different type, and in this time is my child also, and when was a performance day, just my child is hungry, so I'm just eating her, and I'm just preparing my set, all much cooking my kitchen, and this is the hard job for me this day, but finally I'm done this performance, and this is not a performance, this is my daily life.
Exactly.
So this is as usual life. So, and finally it's a talk in Sadia. I like it. Everybody and every people is fine. They are every people is helping each other. This is the first time, but I like it. I'm just happy.
Thank you so much, Sumana. Let's hear it from Preeti.
Yeah, I think I'm still like, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah. So I'm still, trying to absorb the process and how it's so. But it was definitely, interesting. The idea when Timuk talked about it with me, I was quite intrigued by the platform itself. Like this time, like it is offering us this different kind of space where we all are in our different parts of the world, and we're like trying to connect with each other and come together and do something. So that was a very positive point to begin with, which was so I quite like the idea, and I wanted to come in. And so when we started with the blog, I think that was also and also when the glitch starts to happen, like you write something, so you are thinking constantly when you're reading the comments and you're reading other what everybody is writing, and so and it was suddenly also vanishing at the same point, because of some problems. So
talk about that. Let's hear that. Nobody knows about that was the first string before we even explore this war zone and ignorant today. That was the first string in between you three. That once you are posting, Shumana's text is gone, and when Kifa is posting, Preeti's text is gone. Talk about that. Let us know that.
Yeah. We had to forget.
So that was what it was doing to me when I want to like go back and write again, and wanted to like reflect on something that I wrote initially. So it was very irritating because I was not able to connect the thread and wanted to like write further. So I was, so it was basically breaking for me. Like, it was not a continuous experience also. Initially when it started to happen, then we started to like also make a doc file for it. Like we started to copy paste also, but then that
all
was
available
not
backups.
helping. Yeah,
All
but
available backups. That can be a common ground.
It didn't
Who's
really
driving a
help in that.
motorbike?
Oh my, what?
So it was not helping. In sorry, you saying something, Sumuna?
Someone was driving a motorbike. That's something.
Yeah. Yes, this is close by. There's this road. Yeah. So that was, but then the thought process was not. I mean, when this was getting deleted, it it was also getting deleted. Something like that
Uh-huh.
was going on, So it was
Yeah.
something like that. So with me, I would struggle throughout the 5 days. I will say that I was like
Yeah.
I wanted to write, but I would go check out what people like, what everybody wrote, and then I would just come out because it's not really like happening. So it was more or less, but it was nice also to put forth your points and what I was thinking at certain points and certain moments. So बहुत intensity भी था. It's very intense at points and very dull at points. So I think I experienced all that together. And then coming to the next segment, which Imran was doing, I think I mean, I had no imagination how he's going to take it on Insta and how he's going to put it there. So as Sumana was talking, how she saw this blank, space,
Yeah.
and it was so. Initially, even I thought that why the image is coming like this, like it just
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
not, there was a screenshot of which this right inside, portion was not making any sense, but it was visible in my feed. And I was like, why is he cutting the images like this? I have no clue. But
Right.
then I was still thinking that he's trying. I think he is doing something. So I knew that for sure. But I just checked with him if it is all right, or if he is I mean, deliberately doing that, or like there is some problem with the posting itself. And when he clarified, and then we started to see his feed,
I,
and
at the beginning, surely
yeah,
doubted that he was
yeah,
deliberately doing it. Anything is
yeah,
possible with curators, as you know.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
so
then it
anybody who
came out
wants to,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, please
Uh,
carry on. I
no,
can do it later.
no.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, okay. So then the images. I mean, when you see that, when you open that handle photosphere and you see the images, it's really. I mean, I think the whole image coming together itself was, we all were together in that space, speaking to each other, and works for speaking to each other, and so many different, you know, ways. Of course, it's in the photographic form over there. So we can't
Yeah.
experience the material of it, or we can't experience, if there is a sound. I mean, there is, anything else to it. But then there's smell to it, but then
Mm-hmm.
the images were actually, they were so much in conversation with each other. So I found that very beautiful, and I really thank Imran for that, beautiful work that he did with the images, which was also unexpected. Like we had no clue what his plan,
Neither did
right?
I.
So that was nice. And then when we moved on to performance day, again with the internet, and the audio, so
And the screen
the whole
rotating.
and the whole time, you know, I was like, Chibuk was also texting me that you are not audible, come close to your microphone, and I was reading and I was showing image and I was like, what? And I had no clue, nobody can hear me. So so later when I actually went out, but my friends also, a few of them who were watching, they said that you were not audible at all. And then I thought, okay, I was reading to myself. I was trying to tell myself so hard what I have actually, learned in this process. And I actually reflected on it, wrote about it. So that's what I was reading. And I wanted to show the painting of landscape and fall of Icarus, to talk about the idea of indifference in the household space. So the painting really spoke to me in that way, because the image, um, if can we see the image?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Uh,
The painting,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, let me try. But you know what?
yeah. So, but
Don't worry about the
uh,
audio, because you can't always hear people
yeah,
clear in a war
yeah,
zone. That's obvious.
yeah. That's also true. And I was also happy to read in that way
Right.
to myself to also like reflect in in that space. And had I didn't really think of cooking, or I was in the kitchen, but then I started to make some drawing.
So that's
Yeah,
the
this is
image,
the
I guess,
image.
right,
Yeah,
Preeti?
yeah, this is the image. Yeah. So there is this, this beautiful painting by Bruegel, which actually shows this beautiful landscape, city. You can see, look into the landscape till far away, and you get a feeling of it being nice, and like people are doing well, and everybody's and busy in their own things. And you see a plowman, you see a shepherd, but when you actually go down to the right side,
Right
you actually
here.
see this one, yeah, one tiny figure, and this you see a drowning man, a figure. And
Uh-huh.
that's when you realize that all these people, what are they doing? They didn't even hear the splash, and somebody is drowning, like. And what is going on actually. So basically the idea, I mean, it is based on the mythology, Greek mythology, of the story of Icarus, who flew very high with the wings of wax and fell down to his death, which Bruegel brought, as in this painting, as how people are completely immersed in their own everyday roles and the kind of useful things that they do, and they are not looking at what's happening around them at all. They are like, so so the indifference to the pain and suffering of the other in the same space. So I see this painting sort of spoke to me in terms of, if you look at the kitchen, like it's such a, like the central place where everything is happening. Like Sumana is saying that roti is not, can't make it round, and she's sweating and she is like struggling with this. But so there is this indifference, matlab, this complete distance from this suffering itself. Like somebody goes through it every day, and one is not able to comprehend that what is this repetition of work doing to people who occupy this space, you know, and not just in that way, like also in terms of intersectionally, like people who belong, like also the maids, people who work in our households, and people who, so all kind of people who occupy this space, basically what they're going through. So there is this complete, a distance, uh, and we don't see the drowning at all.
Separation. Yeah.
We don't see the drowning at all, actually. So this is what I wanted to bring. So I was like kind of reading and showing that at that point, but it became interesting because then eventually I started to draw, and yeah, I
You were just too
enjoyed that.
busy and we were drowning.
And I was watching Kipa, so like she was really settled,
I was
and
almost smelling
Sumana
the
was,
egg curry. Do you know that?
oh
I was
yeah,
almost
yeah,
smelling
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Sumana was busy making roti, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. Because, yeah, so yeah, it was
Okay, now
nice,
my
very good.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the comments also.
Hmm.
Okay, Juma again. Somehow as well as female and kind of same. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is a new comment. I'm like really confused with Juma's comments now. I was also in the process of making some kitchen works from 2014. Wish to share with these someday with all of you. Some of these may seem very close to your exposition, but you are in your work and me on mine. And end of the day, we all are representing all the females around the world. Keep going, working on it. Best wishes. Sure, sure,
Oh,
Chuma.
thank you.
We will
Thank
definitely
you.
hear
Yeah.
about
Thank
it
you.
and look
Yes.
into the work. Women at Work is a platform for all the women from everywhere. So, Chumana, you're looking like Mona Lisa. Ooh, keep eating, or the things you really like to experience. And Preeti, you look very
Wow.
familiar. She does indeed. Don't know, maybe saw you somewhere in art gallery. Sure. Aishwarya says
Thank you.
performances are live. Thank you, Aishwarya. She also says the format of this engagement is definitely interesting, challenging, fun. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
I hope I didn't miss anything. So now my question, as none of you have never been to this kind of experience, this kind of segment, because it's one of a kind that we just started, right? Um, what was the obstacle? Did you had any, you know, obstacle or challenges? Because none of you, maybe like not all of you, have gone through writing experiences, right? Not necessarily we write, we practice, we paint or we make sculptures, we do performance. Not necessarily we write. Our, like, anyways, when we hear about writing we get fever anyway. We just hate writing about our concept. We like the journey, and then you can talk to us. But writing, I don't know, that's my feeling. So there was writing. And what was your reflection on that when you first knew that you have to write? What were you thinking? Because you don't necessarily have that um, experience, maybe. I don't know. I mean, tell me about it. Anyone, start. Raise your hand. No one. No one. Okay, Kipa. All right.
I did.
Okay, yeah, you did.
So, yeah. Actually, for me, writing is easier than doing this talking.
Oh
So
man,
I really was looking forward to that writing. Yeah, this is challenging for me to talk. But anyway,
you're
the
doing
first
good.
day, it's not the writing, but the format itself. I was kind of lost. So it was only from the second day I got the idea. Writing was really for me very not just fun. It was like so many ways to explore myself, because it wasn't just writing. It was like I don't know all the terms, but it's like in the blog, right? There are certain ways to do things, and we had some guidelines how we could only use certain things. So to keep that in mind and to write according to this question, it wasn't just the writing like a story or a poem.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
most interesting rule or the instruction was that there is no rule.
Yeah.
You just have to
But
appear.
that
I mean,
what
all the rules that were coming in, I guess,
um
is for the technical things, right? Uh,
yeah.
oh, yeah,
But
Preeti, you
I
want to?
think that also
oh yeah,
I
technical.
sorry, you want to say something, Deepa?
Oh, no, waiting for you.
So what I was saying, when you also caught in the idea of freedom itself, like when you're completely free, you're not free. So it also becomes very difficult for you to actually look at how is it going to develop, how are you going to like take it forward. So that all becomes very challenging. It's not really easy to not have any direction at all. Like it's quite so crazy in that way. But I think what I found more like the challenging part of this was also to talk to people about it and like really encourage people to like come see this. And like I think I don't know how to like, because when you're, I don't know, like how do we think of going to a space, like going actually traveling, doing a journey
Mhm.
for an event or an exhibition or anywhere you actually go. And when you were talking about people coming on an online platform to go into this particular blog, look at it,
Mm.
comment, write, read, engage basically. So I don't know that. I mean, I still don't know actually that how has it engaged people.
Mhm.
This platform itself, that how much people could actually get engaged, and they were because and there were different segments. So are there people who completely like followed it through till now, like from the beginning, apart from all of us as a team, but then people who were coming as audience or somebody who's going to witness it in a different way. Uh, is there like, are there people who followed it through, or are there people who just came in between? And I mean, what are their experiences also, which counts a lot, because not just us as participants, but also as people as participants to this platform and coming and joining us is very important, right? So
Yeah,
we
I think
must
the
also
virtual space or digital space allows us to actually monitor how many people are getting engaged, most of
yeah,
them. And
yeah.
in this, we could see there were, I think, 240
Hmm.
people hitting on the blog.
Hmm.
And I don't know,
Hmm.
on Photopia, maybe we will bring in Imran,
Hmm.
Kaur Chimuk,
Hmm.
and Mitali also to
Hmm.
share more about the experience. But I
Yeah.
think for the first episode in the first season, it was a very
Hmm.
new experience for all of us.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
people,
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
a lot of people, a
Yeah.
lot of our friends, your friends and fellows,
Hmm.
were
Hmm.
taking
Sure.
time to
Definitely.
understand
Yeah.
it, of course,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
commenting directly in between our intervention is something. Why
Hmm.
would we? That was
Hmm.
some expressions that I got. So they were not
Uh,
understanding how actually it can
Hmm.
be so interactive, and that's what we wanted to
Hmm.
experiment with, ways of seeing and interacting also with creative processes. So let's see, maybe in the second
mm,
episode or in coming days they will. And once we speak about it, now finally, as we are speaking about it, and they
Yeah.
get to know more about it, maybe the interaction will be different, and participation will be more and different. um, yeah, thank you for explaining that, Preeti. Anyone else? Sumana, you didn't raise your hand. How was it?
uh, right. Sometimes I feel writing is so easier for my expression or my experience is write up, but sometimes so hard. I feel that. But in this initiative, by first episode, I like because this this game I like because in I whatever it write this. Sometimes
Exactly.
I'm thinking and sometimes just not thinking. Just my mind was coming some word. I just write up. So sometimes Preeti is a question or answer and Kipa question or answer. So this is the interesting way for thinking process. And at last we are just ending day. We are just come up our concept. So this process is making help to um, recipe. I look like okay, this is this recipe, and we're just cooking into something. So this
Yeah,
type
the
of I
memories in the script. Yeah,
yeah.
fantastic. I'm really happy to know this. You can say any bad things, please. I mean, if you have any. Yeah,
There's
it's all
no
nice,
bad
nice.
thing. Yeah.
Okay,
No, no,
okay.
it's
We
so
don't have
nice
any
also.
script. We didn't
No,
give any script
no.
to the three of you.
Genuinely
It's
no.
all good. All
No.
right.
No, it's like
This is
we discussed about the challenges. So this is
No.
not no
Yeah,
bad.
we did. We
I
did.
really appreciate
Sadia.
all four of
This is
you.
Yes.
the bad thing today life. Okay, this is the bad thing today life.
I'm putting you out of the screen, Shimona. No, I think
Yeah.
I love this part actually. Finally, three faces and talking
Yeah,
in the language that we
I like
usually
also. Yeah,
understand easily.
yeah.
So thank you for talking about all this. I will almost end this today here. We will look into the comments and I'll bring in other three minds, all three crazy minds all together to maybe share and share the last note on episode 1. And to all the practitioners and all the people who are there as creative practitioners and not, uh, do join in, do interact, do share your interest. Maybe you can be in one of the episodes. You never know. You don't have to be a certified artist to be it, as long as you have a different war zone and different connection and different idea or participation there. So let's look at the comment. Big comments. So you all will be overlapped with that. Um, Congratulations for practitioners and whole team for bringing women on board for discussing this ignorant subject. देखो शुभना, And I agree that many of us come across so many similar experiences every day. Work considered as no work, or work practically expected to perform from you. But it's also interesting to look at the changing dynamics of one position or relationship to object space, etc. looking forward. Thank you, Shilpi Agarwal.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you, Shilpi.
Shilpi also says,
Thank
lovely
you.
conversation,
Also,
Sadya.
No,
Thank you,
Shilpika.
Oh, sorry, Shilpika. So sorry. Shilpika. Oh, this is another comment. Oh my God. And interesting to hear all the sharing. Wasn't there for all the segments, but came in and out of few good explorations, and congratulations to all the organizers. Thank you, Shilpika. We hope you join us in coming episodes, and you can explore
yeah.
more of all the segments. As you can
Yeah.
see, you can see the blog here in Responding Blogspot, and on Instagram, Photopeer, and we have the website where you can see all the things together at one place. Thank you. I hope I didn't miss any other. Oh, okay. Of course, Juma is there. Love your hosting, Sadya Mizan. Finally, Juma, something for me. Thank you.
Lovely.
Sadya, what
Yeah.
is the viewership strategy and interaction possibilities has been explored? I still am thinking about it. I'll surely get back to you about this, Milton. We all have to think about it. It's not only my call. It's a collective thing, as you can see.
Yes.
Reshma Chiba, so wonderful to listen to all of you. You are a wonderful person, Reshma. Reshma is from Johannesburg. Thank you for joining, Reshma. So I think I have covered all the comments. So thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you,
All
Sadya. Thank you so
souls.
much.
Miss you all, Sadya. Miss you all.
We will stay in touch.
Thank
We will
you.
do something more crazy in coming days for sure. Keep the cooking up, keep the eating up, keep sharing, then it will be fine for your portion.
Okay.
Preeti, stay well. Sumana, stay well. Love to your kid. Thank you. And
too.
now I will bring in the moderators on the screen to share the last notes. Let's welcome Kaur Chimuk, and then Preeti, bye-bye to you first, then Shumana, bye-bye, and Kipa, bye, take care. So here we have Kaur Chimuk, and then we have Imran from Photopeer, and we also have Mitali Nath from Live Hive. So as you can see, these are the four crazy head who came together and conceptualized these four segments under Womyn at Work in the first episode, and we will continue as I keep saying. So I'll start with, I'll come to Kaur Chimuk at the last, because I know you're going to talk a lot. I'll start with Imran Ahmed. If you want to share any last notes to end this journey of episode 1 and start the second journey or coming journey of episode 2, maybe.
Thanks, Sadhya. So let's, I just want to talk about the format first. The format that we have been working on this particular journey of ours is a very new format. And as today I have understood that all of us has really enjoyed the journey. And then I'm sure that we can really take this format to much beyond what we have thought of.
Exactly.
I'm really keen that we will all explore this format. And along with that, this particular topic that we have been working on, people can ask that what you are doing there. But yes, I can also see the war which my wife fights at the kitchen every day. So somehow that is the connection point that where I really connect myself with. But I will say that.
Do you make the breakfast, Imran?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will say that I will say कि Galibs has a comment कि हमको मालूम है कि जन्नत का हकीकत लेकिन दिल को खुश रखने को ये ख्याल अच्छा है. So with that ख्याल, with that dream, I think we can all make a huge difference in our internal and external war that we are fighting in. So
Mm-hmm.
with that, I think we will move to the uh, next episode very soon with all of your blessings and guidance and collaboration. So I'm really looking into that. Thank you, Sadhya.
Thank you, Imran. Let's talk to Mitali. Mitali.
Yeah, I would like to thank all of you actually because nothing can, not a particle can move without the three of you there, and so much of support for each other. And the point was that we all understood each other so well. That was such a serendipitous experience. That was so beautiful. Yeah, that's it. That is what I think we really need to keep exploring more, even the format, the whole format as we go by. And it's really an enjoyable process, definitely, artistically, otherwise, in every which way. And women at work really needs highlighting. I mean, in every corner of the world. I
Yeah.
mean, anywhere
To,
in the world. Yeah, absolutely.
to all the
Yeah.
women
Thank,
around
yeah,
us.
to all the women and what all has been done till now. And I mean, war or no war, in war and in peace, I mean,
Of
women have
course.
been so much at work always.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Sadhya.
Mitali. Thank you so much. Kaur, let's hear it from you now.
Hi, Sadya.
How was it? How was the journey for our first episode? We
I
were
don't
the
know.
troublemakers, and yeah, and you were the curator, the bigger troublemaker, of course. So let's hear it.
But you know what? Like, am I audible? I guess, right? Am I?
Yeah, yeah, you're
Hmm.
very much
So,
audible.
this is something very interestingly come up that like I'm the curator. Like nowhere in the program we
Yeah.
mention like that way. That is my very conscious decision that and I'm not going to put myself in that stress because I want to enjoy. For example, right now these four people
Mm-hmm.
I know for many years, right? So in a way, I'm working with my friends and whoever I'm bringing in the boat, they're also my friends. So more than an obstacle, I thought like if there's a hurdle, we all can come over together like a more like a participatory method. Like I know Imran when probably I just going to start my practice. Like so for me, every little things I have shared, even in this process. I was exactly texting a few minutes back to Imran that how much I love his presence because it's emotional more than anything. Like what I shared with Preeti, Shumona. I know like Shumona always saying to me that it's not easy for me to write everything. We said, listen, I don't want any essay over here. I don't want any criticality. What I want, let's break down that fear. Because you know what, like beyond everything, this word woman at work came when I think last year I got this wait, I'm just telling you this is something very interesting. Like I got to know that in India, like if you go any sort of job, like okay, so I'm talking right now behalf of a queer person, like it's very difficult. Like there is hardly have a chance to talk about intersectionality, which me and Mitali talk over the period a lot, like how we can talk and develop this fluid space where a fluid body, a non-binary, a queer body can participate in practice. And that participation is mostly about develop the friendship, the mutual safe space. So that blog was my first step because I know once they will reach up to a point, Imran job will be more easy. Like so they start understanding, realizing, and helping each other. Like if they don't understand something, they don't call us. They call each other. Like they call
Exactly.
what's happening, and they figure it out. Like and that's the beauty. And I'm so confident because I'm working with my friends. I'm working with Mitali. I'm working with Imran. I'm working with Sadhya. Like like do you know what Imran? I'm talking especially one particular segment, like segment 4, which I was always worried about because this is the last key point where either we'll cross or we'll go back to the same square. But like when I start talking with Sadia, I felt like that humble response because I know if I share, she don't try to hear, she try to listen, and that's the beautiful thing. And you are like
Thank you.
so thank you so much, like to all of you and all the viewers. Like reading a blog every day, 240, 160 people, like a boring text, it's a good response.
That was not a
I'm not
boring text. That was a fun
no, but
text.
no, but I'm saying people are not into text so much because I know like when like Imran was making something, it was so engaging. But for me, like what I'm dealing with some letters and text and some fonts and symbols. But because of Sumana, Preeti, and Kipa, it is really interactive. And I'm really thankful to everybody for that, to support all this, everything. And please support South Asian curatorial practice. That's important because we have a different economy, we have a different understanding setup. Like what Imran is doing, it might be so easy to living and staying.
One point I have.
Yeah.
Support the solidarity that we share.
Please,
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was thinking how difficult, like one day I was calling, I'm giving a more backdrop. I was calling Imran and saying, it is not happening. I literally know he's going somewhere. Now in Calcutta, like right now, me and Imran was right now in Calcutta. Every often days we have a lockdown and he went going for some really important job. But he's saying, I will come back in 15 minutes, I will do that. I was saying, it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task.
It was not. It was not.
Yeah.
It still is
Thank
not.
you,
And it's
everyone.
not going to be.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you all. I'm going to end this session here, and I'm sure we come back with another session in September with new curator, hidden, and new 3 practitioners from, I don't know where from the world. I'm sure with new conversations, very interesting new conversations. Thank you all. Right. Stay with us and stay well. Thank you.
Thank you.